Have you ever stopped to think about what makes a good deed, well, good? We all try to do the right thing, but what really gives those actions their value? Today we're going to explore this amazing framework from a classic text that says the answer isn't really about what you do, it's about the quality of your mind when you're doing it. And honestly, it's a powerful way to understand ourselves with some pretty stunning clarity.
So let's just start with a really simple question. Imagine two people give the exact same amount of money to charity. On the surface, their actions are identical, right? But something inside us, our intuition, kind of tells us there might be more to this story. Is the value of those two actions really the same?
Well, it turns out there's this incredible masterpiece of ancient philosophy and psychology, the Yogacara Bhumi Shastra, and it offers a fascinating way to think about this. It gives us a lens called the path of the three persons. And the whole idea is to look behind the action, to see the intention that's really driving the whole thing.
Okay, so let's dive into what this actually means. This whole framework suggests that pretty much any action can be sorted into one of three different levels, or you could call them realms. And here's the kicker. The one single standard for judging them isn't what you do, but why you do it. What is your mind truly focused on?
So check this out. The lower person, they're focused on what the text calls non-essential affairs, basically day-to-day survival, worldly stuff. Then you've got the middling person, who looks inward. Their focus is on their own affairs, their own self-improvement, maybe their own salvation. But then the superior person makes this incredible shift. They take on others' affairs as their own. Their entire motivation becomes about the well-being of everyone else. It's this profound journey from a world of me to a world of we.
All right, let's make this feel a bit more real. Let's take a super practical example, the act of giving. According to this text, the physical act of handing something over is really just the tip of the iceberg. The real value, the real level of the action, is decided by the state of your mind before, during, and even after you give.
And the text gives this incredibly vivid picture of the lower level. Just imagine this. You decide you're going to give something, and at first you feel great about it. But right in the middle of giving, your mind gets a little murky. Maybe you're thinking about what people will think, or you hesitate a bit, and then, the second it's over, bam, a wave of regret hits you. Did I give too much? Maybe I should have kept that for myself. That whole mental roller coaster, that's what puts the act at the lower level.
And this is where you can really see the progression step by step. The lower person, like we saw, has that messy mix of feelings. Now the middling person, they actually manage to have a pure intention while they're giving, which is a huge step up. But they still get hit with that sting of regret afterwards. So what's the giant leap to the superior level? It's that last part. The regret is just gone. The joy is there at the start, the purity is there in the middle, and a kind of stable, peaceful feeling is there at the end. The act is whole, it's clean.
Okay, so that's giving. Now let's switch gears and apply this same logic to something else, following ethical precepts or holding a moral code. This could be anything from just being an honest person to following a very specific spiritual discipline. And you guessed it, the framework tells us the outward behavior is only half the story. The why behind your discipline is what truly defines its height.
Just look at this. It's all about the motivation. At the lower level, you follow the rules to get by, to keep your job or to fit in. At the middling level, your goal is a bit bigger. You're doing it for a better future life, a heavenly rebirth. But the superior person's motivation is totally different. They're doing it for the sake of nirvana, not just for themselves, but for the ultimate freedom from suffering for every single being. The exact same ethical action takes on a completely different meaning.
And get this, there's even another layer. The text points out that the lower person might only follow the rules some of the time. The middling person might follow them perfectly, but they're really just doing it for themselves. The superior person, though, not only do they follow the precepts completely, but their practice naturally encourages and inspires other people to do it too. It kind of radiates outward from them.
All right, for our final example, let's go from the outside world of actions right into the deepest part of our own minds, spiritual cultivation or meditation. Here, the different levels are marked by how much sheer effort it takes just to stay focused.
This comparison is just so telling. At the lower and middling levels, meditation is hard work. It requires this constant, deliberate effort. You know that feeling when you're trying to concentrate and your mind just keeps wandering off? That's what we're talking about. But at the superior level, something amazing happens. The struggle just melts away. Focus becomes spontaneous, natural, effortless. It's like the engine finally just runs on its own.
The text also gives us this one other really beautiful way to see the difference. It talks about two key qualities of the mind.
The first is shamatha. That's a calm, stable, steady mind. The second is vipassana. That's clear, sharp, penetrating insight. So according to this framework, the lower person might have a calm mind, but they don't have much insight. The middling person might have sharp insight, but their mind isn't very stable. The superior person, they're the one who has perfectly balanced and unified both. Their mind is both unshakably calm and brilliantly clear.
So, after looking at our generosity, our ethics, and our own inner practice through this lens, the focus naturally comes right back around to us. It really invites you to take a moment for some honest self-reflection.
Because the real magic of this model isn't about slapping labels on ourselves or judging other people. Not at all. It's meant to be a mirror. It gives us a map to understand where our motivations are right now, and maybe even more importantly, it shows us a clear path for what a higher, more integrated, more whole way of being could actually look like.
So you've got these three huge areas of our lives: how we give, our personal ethics, and our inner mental world. And all of them are measured by this one single standard: the quality, the motivation, and the completeness of what's going on inside our own minds. And that brings us right back to where we started. But now the question feels a lot deeper, doesn't it? When we do something good, where's that motivation really coming from? Is it about getting by? Is it about improving ourselves? Or is it maybe, just maybe, for something so much bigger than ourselves? That's the question this framework leaves us with.